After the fall in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve begin a new chapter in a world changed forever. In time, Eve gives birth to their first son. They name him Cain, a name that means acquired, for she says, "I have gotten a man with the help of the Lord." Soon after, another son is born, Abel. Two brothers, two paths. Cain becomes a farmer, working the soil. Abel becomes a shepherd, caring for flocks. As time passes, both brothers bring an offering to the Lord. Cain, the farmer, brings some of the fruits of the ground. Abel, the shepherd, brings the firstborn of his flock, fat and full of life. But the Lord looks with favor on Abel and his offering. Cain's offering, however, finds no favor. The reason is not made fully clear, but it strikes deep into Cain's heart. He grows angry, his face darkens, jealousy begins to take root. Something dark stirs beneath the surface. God sees the anger burning in Cain's heart and speaks to him directly. "Why are you angry? Why is your face fallen?" Then comes a warning, gentle but urgent. "If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." A choice stands before Cain: mastery or surrender. Cain speaks with his brother Abel. We don't know what was said, only what came next. While they were out in the field, alone beneath the open sky, Cain rises up against his brother and takes his life. The first act of violence in human history. A brother's life taken by the one who should have protected him. The soil that Cain once tilled now drinks the blood of Abel. And silence falls across the field. Then the Lord calls out to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" Cain answers with defiance and deceit, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" But God knows. He always knows. "What have you done?" he says. "Your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground." Judgment follows. Cain is cursed, cut off from the very earth he worked. When you till the ground, it will no longer yield for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth. Cain protests, "My punishment is more than I can bear. Anyone who finds me will kill me." But the Lord, even now, shows mercy. He places a mark on Cain, so that no one may harm him. And so, Cain goes out from the presence of the Lord, banished, but not destroyed. He settles in a land called Nod, east of Eden. There, he begins a new life. He takes a wife, and she bears him a son, Enoch. Cain builds a city and names it after his son, a city born from exile, built by the hands of a marked man. From Enoch comes a line of descendants, Irad, then Mehujael, then Methushael, and then Lamech. Lamech takes two wives, Ada and Zillah, and through them come sons who shape early civilization, Jabal, father of those who live in tents and raise livestock, Jubal, father of musicians, those who play the harp and flute, Tubal-Cain, a master of metal, forging tools of bronze and iron. Tubal-Cain's sister is named Naamah, but Lamech boasts with violence. "I ended a man's life because he wounding me, a young man for striking me. If Cain is avenged sevenfold, then Lamech 77-fold. The legacy of Cain lives on, in both creation and corruption. But the story does not end in exile. Adam and Eve come together once more. A new son is born, and they name him Seth. Eve says, "God has granted me another child in place of Abel, because Cain killed him." Through Seth, hope begins to stir again. Seth has a son, Enosh. And something new appears in the human story. Then men began to call on the name of the Lord. Amid the pain, the loss, and the wandering, a new line begins, one that seeks God. The ground that once drank blood will now bear prayers. And though Eden is still lost, humanity starts to lift its eyes again toward heaven. This ancient story still echoes today. Like Cain, we all face moments of anger, jealousy, and temptation. We, too, hear the whisper of sin at the door, and must choose whether to rule over it or let it rule us. We may not take lives, but how often do we wound with words or turn away from others in pride or bitterness? And yet, just as God pursued Cain with questions and mercy, he still reaches for us. The story doesn't end with failure. It moves toward hope. There is always a chance to begin again, to choose love over rivalry, to bring offerings from a sincere heart, and to call upon the name of the Lord.